Okay, this is a quick tutorial about how to do a UV map. A UV map is a flat view from your model. So basically we want to have this cube already UV in this map. What do? We're gonna go into edit mode, select them all, go to shadings and UVs, and we're gonna select edges of the cube this way until we get a nice flat view of the cube this way. Okay, select this one and remove this one. And this is how you make a flat view of a cube in a almost seamless way. But we don't make cars like this, a simple box on spin tires. We use more complicated meshes like this. This is a Chevrolet Silverado from 2008, heavy duty. How did I make this map? So let's reset our UVs. And we're gonna select some seams like I did here, one here and one over here. That way I will separate this part of the wheel well and this part, and once I unwrap it I have this seamless or almost seamless shape of the box of the truck. Why do we want to have seamless meshes? Because in spin tires, once you have something textured, let me show you really quick right here. Samples 5 to make a quick render, and let's bake it. Blender has the view already set up to look really close to spin tires view, which is something cool because that way we can see if our model has some ugly shapes, ugly seams. Okay, let's wait till it finishes. Okay, once we have it, we go into texture view, and if we cross the sum views, no, it's not doing it. Well, basically we will see a black line right here. In spin tires it will show not too much because the wheel goes in here and pretty much covers it. But if your model is much more detailed, it has many more curves than this one. This is quite basic. It's almost like a, how is it called, a square body Chevy. It won't be showing that many. This is a seamless map, so let's try to make a seam map. That's the one I use for parts of the chassis. So let's create one. We go into Unwrap, Smart UV Project, and basically it does all that by itself, but it creates a cutted mesh, which in spin tires will have seams in every little cut that it has. I mean, it will have a black line in this area, a black line in this part, and that's something I don't like, but I don't really care of them in the parts of the suspension systems. They're moving, they won't be look that much. Braggle He's a great user, a great model maker, even though he makes really complicated meshes. He makes seamless maps for every single one of them. That's why their models look so good and are so good textures, because he takes his time to make them. Thanks for watching. This is actually one of the cool things about doing seamless maps. This map is from my Willis, and it's completely seamless. It has no cut edges, so it has no black lines. And the best part about it is that I can just plug it on Cycles Render, and since every part is a flat map of the actual mesh, the textures that I use to create the rust won't be separated and won't have crazy edges. What I mean with crazy edges, I mean that this whole part is one part of the texture instead of being many parts scattered all around the texture. If you're gonna use seamless UVs, you won't be using Substance Painter, since Substance can load single UVs. It makes it crash, and also it makes the mud areas or dust areas where it will, let's say, focus, because it doesn't really focus, it just takes the edge and calculates a small amount of centimeters or even millimeters to start creating dust or rust, so as in crevices. So let's look at the texture quickly over here. Oh well, this is actually my rust map. A rust map, it's quite different from it's a way this every black area is actually a rust spot on the mesh. I did this with Photoshop and a ambient occlusion map of the Jeep, a inverse ambient occlusion, so that way it won't focus the occlusion on the crevices but more on the edges of our model. Let's see if I can find which one of them are my textures. Okay, see, and it actually follows this part right here is this one right here, which is also a kind of a mirror from this one. And you can also use this map on Photoshop. Photoshop has a 3D texturing tool, which is the one I use to create the rust spots. Some may see that as way too many work, but I think it's totally worth it. I mean, look at this texture. Looks so good. So this is a seamless map. Let's look at a non-seamless map. Let's go into Blender Render, and okay, this map was actually created using the Smart Render, or more like a Atlas, Texture Atlas. I use Texture Atlas because every work area of Blender is actually Atlas, so that way I keep things more organized. Things, I can access things quickly. Let's look to the trailer. The trailer was made with a full seamless map, and some of the meshes were actually seam. Trailer CJ, Star Melon, no, UV unwrap. Not all objects are visible. Okay, I think the top, the data of it, somewhere around here. Okay, there you go, there it is. Star Manual UV map. You can see every one of these little parts are actually a smart UV projection, but these are actually seamless. It's a mix. Why I did that? To create this. Wait, this is a reverse texture. Let's first finish the UV map. And here it is. Let's select this one right here. Oh, the image is missing. Well, that sucks. Let's see if I can render it. Okay. This is where you see. This was created using only hard edges maps and ambient occlusion. You see the results, and the parts that are reflected with dust and mud are actually a single texture of a seamless map. You can see it follows. Every crevice has rust, every hard edge or a place where it should have dust, it generates it in a really good way. Same on the inside. And that creates a old look to the trailer, and it looks way better. So thanks for seeing. This is a quick view on the seamless maps, the good things about it. Now the bad things about seamless maps is that it will take you a long time to make them right, but totally worth it.